Hello, everyone. I'm Tina from Tina's Workshop, and today is February 28th, and this is episode 50 of my weekly podcast update, behind the scenes, see what else I'm doing during the week. You can find me in all the usual places: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but I am mostly on YouTube. I don't get on the other things very often. All the links for everything will be down below, including snail mail and email. I am trying really hard not to sniffle. I had my surgery yesterday and I just sneezed a couple times, and I cannot blow my nose. I'm one, not allowed to, and two, I don't think I could if I wanted to. So I'm like, I just keep dabbing at my nose and trying not to sniffle because I know that's loud on you guys, but that's where I'm at the moment. But I don't have as much stuff on my face as I did last time. So I felt like I could actually be presentable to you guys. My nose is a little large at the moment because there are plugs in both sides. Hopefully it works this time. Fingers crossed. Let's see, current temperature. This one says 66. The one in my bedroom was telling me 77 earlier. I don't know. It's sunny and it's warming up and it's really nice, and I am enjoying that. I actually have a window open, so getting a little breeze in, fresh air. I'm working on 2 videos today. I'm trying to work on my video for next week and this. So I'm trying to do this so I can move things out of my way so then I can work on next week's video. So as far as finished objects, the only finished object I have to show you, really, I guess that's kind of a finished object, but is my, let's see, it's a Canada kerchief tank by Right Brain Crochet. I will try to remember to put the name up on the screen, and I will put a picture up. Let's see. Wait, no. Go this way. Go this way. Oh. There. I'll put it up on that side. Picture of me wearing it. It is so squishy and soft and lovely, and I just want to cuddle in it. So, but anyway, that's done. I've worn it a couple times already. I really like it. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I used yarn from the cat lady, CATT, Andrea. And this was a giveaway she did when she hit 1,000 subscribers. And if you watched yesterday's video, you will have seen that I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I think I showed you guys that maybe in the last podcast that my son made me. So thank you, everyone who is subscribed to me. And if you're not, then please subscribe. Anyway, so this was yarn that she had done called Speckled Concrete, and it's 100% superwash merino, DK. And I used 4 skeins. So there's 4 squares to this, and each square took 1 skein. And I have this much left that I'm planning to pair with another yarn so I can make a matching pair of socks to go with it. So that's in my brain to happen. We'll see what actually happens. The other thing, this is kind of a finished object. It's kind of, it is. It's not anything fancy. I have these old jean legs that I use when I am working with my wool, especially when I'm carding on, flicking on my leg, because the jean can hold up to it a little bit better. And I would just lay these jean legs over my leg. And as I've been working on this yellow fleece, I'm getting stuff all over my lap. And I have aprons. I just don't like putting on a whole apron when I'm sitting there working. I'd rather have something on my lap, but I also need it to come up my belly a little bit too. So I finally took these 2 apart. Sorry, I have to dab. I hate that feeling. I took the two pant legs apart, and they were bell pants, so I flipped them like this and sewed them together. And then I used one of the bands that I made, and I made myself a funky little apron. It's got this curve to it because of the way those pant legs curved, so it doesn't go straight across, but that does help nicely because when I am pulling it up on my lap, I can kind of pull it up and set it there, and then I can tie it if I want to, or I can just leave it set there, and then it comes down over my leg and catches stuff. But then I can use it if I'm working on it, but I can also use it just to keep stuff off my lap, because even when I'm spinning, you get those little bits that will come off as you spin, and then it's all over your clothes. So that's what I did with that, and utilized one of my straps. Oh, I forgot that one. Meant to grab it, forgot it. Okay, now I got that to show you. But you're gonna wait a second. So I did a little bit on my muscle burro this week. Not a whole lot, but a couple times I was able to sit and work on it because it stays in my purse. So last time you saw it, I was right there. So I've gotten a little bit done. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a hat. And it is Madeline Tosh yarn. Colorway is City by the Bay. And it is a superwash merino nylon. I think it's your basic sock yarns. Very soft and squishy. I'm loving this one. Can't wait till I finish it, but I'm not like pushing myself through it because this is just my vanilla knitting to be able to pick up and do. And then I've been working on Bag by Me, my Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And this is the Filoli cowl. I keep getting these ones with names that I can't pronounce. This is for the Bay Area Yarn Hop. One of their 3 patterns that they have going for that, so that, kind of like the Rhinebeck sweaters and stuff they do. So they have 3 different ones they're doing for the Bay Area yarn crawl. Did I say hop? It's a yarn crawl, and it's coming up March. Oh, I want to say it was the 11th through the where's my phone? The 11th through the 22nd or something. It's 10 days, and it's 22 stores. I just got an email this morning, so I knew it was right here. 22 shops in 10 days, all over the Bay Area, and it starts on, where's the date? Where's the date? Really? It's going to make me click on it. March 14th to March 23rd. So I'm not actually technically planning to go to all 22. I would like to at least go to a couple. Last year I went to Dharma, Atelier, and I forget the name of the other one. 2 were in San Rafael, and the other one was in Tiburon, but the one in Tiburon has closed, so they won't be in it this year. So the closest ones to me are the ones in San Rafael, but I'd like to go to at least a couple that I haven't been to before. So I've been to a number of different ones now that are part of this. And if I go to all 22, that's great. But if I only make it to a few, I think I'd like to try and make it to some that I haven't been to before. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. anyway, so there's 3 different patterns. There's a knit pattern, a crochet pattern, and a Tunisian crochet pattern. And I do want to eventually do the Tunisian crochet pattern too, by Kira Delaney. And it's a very simple looking one, and I really would like to do it. I didn't have the correct Tunisian hook, but I do now. I went and picked that up the other day, and I did have some questions at one point about what Tunisian crochet is. And your regular crochet, you're dealing with one hook, one, or not just, sorry, yes, it is one hook, but one loop on your hook when you have finished the stitch. And you take that and you start your next stitch and you finish your next stitch and you have one loop again. So it's always one loop. And if you have to pull stitches out or anything, it's just that one loop you ever have to worry about. When you are knitting, you have multiple stitches on the needle. So no matter where you are, you always have these multiple stitches. And if you have to pull back or drop something or whatever, you have to deal with all those stitches. And that's with the 2 needles. And Tunisian, I'm trying to get to the end of the row. Can you tell? Because I want to show you this, but it's easier to see it at the end of the row. Tunisian crochet is done with, looks like a cross between a knitting needle and a crochet hook. It's a big, long hook. So at the one end, you have the hook. At the other end, it's like the straight knitting needles. And when you use that, you actually pick up, some people call it hybrid crochet. Did I just say that or not? I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought. You start with the one loop, and then you work across your row, picking up loops as you go. You're starting all these stitches all the way across your row. And then you get to the end of the row and you come back in reverse, finishing all those stitches. So you've started the stitch and now you're finishing them. So you start all the stitches of the row and then come back and finish all the stitches. So by the time you get back to the beginning again, you just have that one loop. And if you've ever seen, you don't see it as much now, but the older crocheted blankets, and they would have what looked like cross stitch all over them, they were usually a Tunisian crocheted blanket in a basic stitch, and it made this perfect fabric to be able to cross stitch on. So those were usually a Tunisian crochet. Okay, I got to the end of my row. Now I can show you. So that is where I'm at on this. And you can see down there where I was last time. So I've been slowly working at it. And I wanted to get it done, before that. And I'm really enjoying working on it. It's always a plus. And I am using yarn from Comfort and Joy and 3 by the Sea Design. And they are both DK yarns, I believe. DK or worsted. Okay, this one's 3 by the Sea, called Autumn Spice, on their Tortuga base DK, and it is superwash merino dongle nep. And this one, the green, is Comfort and Joy, which is out of Healdsburg, and the colorway is called Lynn, DK weight, and it is her Joyful base, which is 100% superwash merino. And then all my little extras from Happy Mermaid Yarn Company. I forget sometimes to show you guys all the different little things or remind you what the yarn is I'm using. And it's like, I've shown it before, you already know it, but if you're new today, you don't know it. And I know I myself like when I hear what people are using, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I really like that yarn, I want to go buy it. Or I really like that bag, I want to go buy one, whatever it happens to be. So I do try to remember, I just don't always remember. So if I forget to mention sometime, just ask me and I am more than happy to tell you what I was using. So I'll stick that out of my way and take my notes down so I can see. So I've been carding on that yellow fleece. And when I did the video on the carding, I had completed one bat, and I have now decided to start stacking them here so you can see them, because I don't remember to tell you about them. I have 5 bats done. I'm running one section, in front of the roller. I'm running one section through, doing 6 sections is what is going into each one of these bats. So I use the lock pop and then run it through the drum carder. And so I have 5 right now, and I'm not even halfway through all the fleece. But I'm trying to get all the fleece carded before I sit down to spin, because I know once I sit down to spin, I'm going to want to just spin. I'm not going to want to have to go back and cart. So I'm trying to get all that done before I get to the spinning, which will be the next of those videos to come out. And then I did have a new cast on this week, and this is in a bag that a friend made. Beautiful bag, little snaps and everything. And this pattern is, let's see if I can say this one right. What is this one? Oh, I should be able to say this one right. Cuddly Soft Baby Blanket by Candy Lou Creations. And I was watching Wyoming Knits the other day, and she just completed one, and I thought the blanket did look very cuddly soft. And my son asked me to make a baby blanket for a friend of his. Now, whenever my son says, "Mom, make me a baby blanket," I'm like, oh, crap. Is that a word? Crud, crap. I was putting 2 words together. What is it going to be this time? Because the first time he asked me to make one, it was 75% black yarn and a little bit of yellow. It said Flawless, and it had this emblem from a video game on it. So the background was all black, and it was color work with the yellow. I'm like, you don't let men decide baby blankets. So the second one he asked me to make was a 49er theme. So I was trying to come up with this 49er one, and the emblem and the child's name and all this. So then he comes to me this time, and I'm like, what's it going to be this time? Please tell me I get to do something fun. Nope. And the last one and this one are for girls. Nope. Mom, I need another 49er baby blanket. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, I'm doing another 49er one. And then he's like, what, Mom, no emblem on it? I'm going to end up having to make a little thing and put on it. And he wants the baby's name on it and everything too. So, yeah. But I am doing, oh, and of course, I'm halfway through a row. I'm not finishing this row. So it's going to have to be halfway through the row. Let's see, do I have needle stoppers down here? I can at least do that. No, I don't, of course. So this is the way the pattern looks. And I did the first section in the same as the border section. And honestly, I kind of did that as an accident and decided, well, that works because the emblem has more red in it than it does of the gold color. So the bottom border and top border, I'm going to do that double, so there's more. And then every pattern repeat, I'm changing colors. So I'm almost at the end of this pattern repeat. And the row before the last one in the pattern repeat has an eyelet. So my next row, I think, is the eyelet, and then there'll be another knit row, and then I'll change colors again. So I've only just started. I've been keeping this one out by the TV, so when I sit out there watching TV with my husband, I can work on this. The baby has already been born. The baby was already born when he asked me to make it, so I didn't feel pressured like I had to do it right that second. And I'm making sure I'm not making it too small, so because the baby is growing already. And I am just using, this is not for a fiber family. And a lot of times when I do baby blankets, I prefer to do the acrylic because it's just easier for people to deal with. Baby spits up and stuff and go wash it. So I hit up Joann's while I still could because I like Big Twist. So I got Big Twist worsted weight in the color mustard and Red Heart Super Saver in the color burgundy. I had wanted to do all in Big Twist because I do like the feel of Big Twist better than Red Heart, which this one's not too bad. But a lot of times the Red Heart can be kind of stiff. But the colors that I wanted that little bit deeper red, but then the gold needed to be a more muted gold. So that's what I got, and it's only supposed to take one skein each. So that will be good. So that is now on my needles. And I am using I don't know if you noticed on the other one, I'm using Prim needles. And on the Cowl I'm also using the Prim needles. They're ergonomic. They're a triangular needle with the little nib at the end. And I've heard mixed things. Some people really don't like these. I bought the first pair because I needed a pair of needles. And I really like them. I like the way they feel. And I actually had that on these. I bought the nice interchangeable needles. You know, I got the dropping things. I'm always dropping things. Knit picks. I got a nice Knit picks set of interchangeable needles a while back. And I am a pusher. I push my needle. I try not to, but I do. And then my fingers, just twice, just doing that, you can see it on my finger already. It makes my fingers hurt. With the little nib that's on the end of those, then my fingers don't hurt. So I think that's one of the biggest things, but I do actually like the way it feels going through the yarn. They've got it like a matte finish to them. And I like the way they feel. So I like the Prim ones. I did not put this on my thing. I don't think I showed this last week. I was showing it this week and I did not put it on my list, so you're getting a preview. I just bought myself a little set with some needle sizes I didn't have. And I had something I had returned on Amazon, and then I had points and all this, and so I ended up not paying anything for them. I mean, I paid for them in a sense, but yeah. So I got a size 2, 4, and 6 and 32 inch. And I have already a size 6, 7, and 8. And the size 6 I use all the time because it's the size I use when I do the emotional support chickens. So yeah, bought that. And I know I'm not going to convert people that don't like them, but it is one that I happen to like. And I wish they had more sizes and more lengths, cable lengths. The smallest size they do is a 2. And I do kind of understand why. They're a plastic and they're more fragile. So they're not as strong as your wood ones or your metal ones. But they are, from what I've seen, a little bit more limited. And then they have a new one they've come out with that says it's like a carbide or something, but I haven't tried any of those ones yet. But I do like those. Anyway, enough about, I'm rambling about knitting needles. Let's see. Okay, so that's all my works in progresses. And that back out of my way. And into acquisitions. So you just saw the knitting needles. Oh, I did put it on my list. It was number 2 on my list. Number 1 on my list, I got my newest Into the World. It's a monthly subscription that I buy myself. And every month they send you a thing of fiber, 4 ounces of fiber. in a different colorway and a different breed. So you get to try new breeds. So this one is a gray Cheviot, and the colorway is called Woe's Hollow. And it's a little bit of a coarser wool. Very pretty color. So the base fiber is gray, and then it's been over dyed over the gray, and it's got lots of colors in it. So that will be a fun one to spin up. I'm looking forward to that. I always look forward to the stuff I get to spin. So it's coarse, but it's nice. And again, like I said, they send you the different breeds, so you get the chance to try out the different breeds. And let's see. So, don't know you if you've been here a while, you may remember the last set of spinning wheels and stuff I got. So, and if you haven't been here a while, you probably don't realize I have 17 spinning wheels. I've got one sitting right here, and my first one I had inherited from my grandmother, and the one I learned to spin on, because that one needed restored, and there is a video on that. But the one I learned to spin on, I paid $150, I think, for Ashford Elizabeth. I have another Ashford Traditional that I bought for my sister-in-law. I paid $100 for. And I have another Ashford Traditional I got in a silent auction. I paid $11 for. And I have a Nano, an E-Wheel Nano electric spinning wheel that my husband bought me as a gift. And all the rest of my 17 spinning wheels have all been given to me, including this one that's not actually put together at the moment. It's very, very large. It's a walking wheel. And I have another one that I'm hoping to get that's a pendulum wheel that's even bigger than that one. But the last set of spinning wheels I had gotten were spinning, I can't remember if there was one or two spinning wheels. Anyway, I went back out to that woman because she had found some other stuff that she wanted to give me. So I got a flicker brush, Clems & Clems flicker brush, and I haven't taken them out of these bags yet. I don't know how she got them in the bags. There we go. Some cards. There's some fiber in there. Don't know what's in there, but she gave me those. And then she also gave my sister-in-law some Shirley Temple dolls that are, well, my kids say they're creepy. I say they're cute, but kids say they're creepy, but I just need to fix them up a little bit. There was also an Ashford spindle. Good one for maybe somebody learning, though the first one I had was in Ashford. It was very big and bulky. It's also a Nitty Notty. So I have my first Nitty Notty my husband made me out of PVC pipe. And I now have 3 other Nitty Notty, so I have 4. And I've got a few sets of cards now. But you may not know too, I want to eventually teach classes on knitting, crocheting, and spinning for adults and for kids. And when it comes to spinning, you have a lot of money that is involved in getting your spinning wheels and everything else. And I want to have stuff that people can come and sit and work on. And by also having different styles of wheels, you can try out different styles. You can see what is going to work for you, what you want to end up investing your money in. And if spinning isn't for you, you're not investing that extra money. And for kids, especially, parents aren't going to want to spend a bunch of money on that stuff unless they know their kids are really into it. And if you can have the time to find something too, you might find something inexpensive like I have done. So then I also got a bunch of spin-off magazines from her, some older editions of spin-off magazines. So those will be fun to go through. And this top one has a really cute mitten pattern on it. So got those to go through. And then keep moving, having to move to the other side so I can show you what else is over there. Sorry, I'm sniffling again. I can't help it. She gave me a box of clean Lincoln wool. She had been doing a rug on a loom. I did not take the loom. That was one of the other things. I got a table loom from her before, but she had a big loom, and I found another home with somebody else for the loom. And she had been making a rug on that loom, and she had been using these little curls and putting them into her little rug, kind of like doing a thing like that. And it was really kind of neat. But the woman who took the loom was going to cut that off, and she didn't have a desire for this. She probably is not a spinner. So the wool itself, the fleece, didn't interest her. So I brought it home. Look at those locks. Those are some very pretty locks. And they're long. Look at that. Those are some long locks. So that'll be fun to play with. And it's already washed, so I don't have to do none of that, which is always a plus. Though I enjoy doing the washing too. I think I could do without the skirting, and I don't mind the washing, but then trying to get all the other little bits of VM out, this takes a lot of time. But you know, you got things you have to do in every part. It's like a lot of people in their knitting and crocheting, it's weaving in ends that will be their thing. They don't like the weaving in of the ends. Let's see. You may have noticed that I don't have this sitting in front of me today because my husband bought me this little guy. And it actually has a little case, and there's 2 microphones, and it's an off-brand one, but it had really good reviews, and it was supposed to have, it's got the noise canceling and stuff, and there's different things in it, and I can actually mute it. Now you can hear me. So it's kind of nice because I can mute it right there. And then there's other things that you can do on it. And it has where you can clip it, but it's also a magnet. So I can put it in different areas a lot easier. So hopefully you're hearing me really well. And not that I'm not going to still use this, because this is a very good microphone, and especially if there's other noises going on in the house, this is going to block more than this one does. But this one is always in my face because I have to be right up against it, and then I'm trying to show you things around it. So this is nice. If I'm working down here on the table, I might still use this because it's not as awkward. But I don't know, we'll see. And this one can also plug into my cell phone. It's actually technically made for the cell phone, so I had to buy a little, I'm always losing the word, like a converter, whatever, piece, so that you can plug one thing into something different. Anyway, so we'll see how this goes, and so far seems like it's going good, so happy about that. Showed you my Tunisian hook. I went out to the Legacy, which is our secondhand craft store, and I was wanting the hook for the other thing I wanted to make, and the only ones I had at home was these 2, which this is actually a double-ended hook. There's a hook on either end. and then this one was too fat for what I needed. And they had one Tunisian hook when I was out there, and it happened to be the size I needed. So that was kind of nice. So I bought that. I got a sweet little gift from my neighbors yesterday after my surgery. And they obviously hit up Joann's because look at the cute little keychain. And it's Big Twist. I'll always be able to remember Big Twist even after they're gone. And they got me stickers. Knit Happens. And a little yarn ball. A little notebook. I turn strings into things. It's magic. So a little tiny notebook. I can put that in my project bag, and it has a little measuring tape on it. And all that stuff was in this cute little mushroom container. I love the mushrooms. I love fungi and stuff. It's the flowers of winter. And bonus, you can make dye with them. So all those little things were all in here, and this was at the door. It was super sweet. Okay, last thing in acquisitions, the thing I'm the most excited about. I splurged on this myself. I saw somebody else was using a Paperwhite style tablet, and I was like, I need to do that. So I started researching different ones till I found the one I decided was going to work the best for me. And I ended up getting the Kobo. It's a Kobo e-reader. It's the, I just lost the whole name of it in my head. It's the Kobo Color Libre. There we go. Kobo Color Libre. So it's the Paperwhite ebooks, but this one actually does do color, which would shorten your battery life a little bit, but because it's still that Paperwhite technology, it's still supposed to keep a battery for like a month, which I really, really like. I don't like using my tablet for patterns because batteries go dead too fast, and I have to make sure and take it out of my bag and go charge it. And this I don't. And this one also has, you've got your backlight, or during the day you don't need to have the light on it. And it does have a pin. So I got the pin, and I got a case for it so I can hold it. It has magnets in the case. So I can hold it like this, but then it also has a stand. So if I'm working on a pattern, I like the size of it. And somebody had said, well, what about, how small the writing is? But you can blow it up, which is really nice. And the pen you've got your writing tip, you have your eraser, and there's a button on it so you can highlight. So I can actually go into my patterns and take notes right on my patterns. And I can highlight parts, which I like to do sometimes when I'm doing different things. I'll highlight like one color, and so I know when I'm switching colors. And then very easily, you've got the eraser too, and then it has the magnet to hold it, but the case I got, and I didn't particularly care for the cases they had on their website, so I got a case off of Amazon, and I really like the way this case looks. So now, what you're most interested in? What does the reader look like? So I was able to put all the patterns I had PDFs on my computer, which pile up. And I mean, I have a drawer in my bedroom with papers I've printed like this, and I'm running out of room in it. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to do this. And sometimes I'll buy a pattern and there's like 30 pages to the pattern. I don't want to print out 30 pages, and I don't want to haul around 30 pages. And sometimes I'll find out I have that many pages, and I'll like put that pattern aside and not use it because there's so many pages to it. But with this, I can put that on here, and it's nice and small. The other cool thing is I can put the books, obviously put books on here, and some of the ones that I have, like the Knitting California and Knitting the National Parks, instead of trying to, because I don't want to haul the book around when I'm working on a pattern, and instead of trying to like take a picture and photocopy or whatever the paper to take with me, it's now on here. And so like here's one, that cuddly soft baby blanket. And being the color one, I can see the image in color, which is really nice. And you can see where I've given myself notes and I've highlighted parts. And this one's a nice small one. It's only 2 pages, but this also has the buttons. So you can change your pages with the buttons. And my son kind of thought that was, because you can tap, Mom, you can tap. And I said, yeah, but I can just sit here with my finger on the button and hit the button. Because there's different points on your screen that you do different things, like changing your lighting or being able to go back to a different item. So you can get, and the thing I liked about the Kobo, you get the Kindle and you're kind of limited to the Kindle stuff. You get the Nook, which I've had a Nook before, but you're limited to your Barnes and Noble stuff. And the Kobo does have a Kobo Reads, but you can very easily get stuff from other places and put the EPUB or your PDF onto here. And it also works with the library. So you can pull up stuff on the library. I did find out once I did that, it's a limited amount. You can do audiobooks on this too. Haven't tried it yet though. But the Libby, I can find more stuff on Libby on my phone than I can on here, but you can find stuff. So I can check stuff out. So I have a book checked out so I can sit and read a book too. And then there's your notebook. So you can make note files on here. So I was doodling something I didn't want to forget last night. Looks really weird, but I know what I was doing. But you have the different things. You can change your color. You can change what type of pen or brush or whatever that you're wanting to use. Undo, redo, eraser, search. You can do all that kind of stuff. Oh, and something else that's really kind of cool when you're in the books, and I'm still learning this stuff, but when you're in your books, let's see, I'll pull this one back up. So, and I can zoom in and say I didn't know what worsted was. So I can click. Is it gonna make me do it with the pen? It might make me do it with the pen. Oh, come on. Hold on. It's making me look bad. That's kind of rude. Here, we'll go to the book I'm reading. Okay, assuming. Maybe it needs to be in an actual book and not a PDF. But so I clicked on that. I can highlight. I can add a note. I can search. And you can search it in the book. You can search it on Wikipedia. And you can search it on Google. So I clicked it on Google. And then it gives me the definition and all that kind of stuff on that word. So if you don't know what a word is as you're reading, you can look it up, which I think is really nice. And I do know there's stuff like that in some of the others, but I really like that. Okay, I got interrupted. My husband was trying to find glue stick and stuff. He's working on making some flyers for a couple spinning wheels. And he worked on this. So jumping forward to husband stuff, he made this the other day. Came out really pretty. And this wood is so lightweight. I'm not really sure what the wood is. It is incredibly lightweight. He's made a couple bowls out of this now. It's really pretty. Anyway, He's been working on some different parts onto his lathe to make things easier to do. So not a lot of making. I mean, he's just making stuff for the lathe itself. So he just did this one. He's currently working, like I said, on some flyers. And when I got up and walked around, I remembered there was one thing I forgot to tell you about. So I showed you the hand cards and the wool and stuff like that. I also got a drum carder from her. It's a Ashford drum carder, and I will insert a picture because I don't want to pick it up and carry it over here to show you. Otherwise, I got to take the camera off and go do that. So anyway, I'll just insert a picture. So it's a nice little drum carder. That means I now have 3 drum carders. My husband bought me my first one. The one I am using with all of this, you've seen in my video, and it's electric one. That's Brothers. And then I had another one I had been given that was a Clems and Clems, and I paid that one forward and gave it to somebody else who needed a drum carder. And then this one's a little Ashford, and it's a nice little kind of compact one. I really kind of like it. But having those extra drum carders, again, when I get to that point of being able to teach classes, that will let me have more than one, that if people are carding or something, they can be working on a drum carder without having to wait for one. So I do like that aspect. Okay, life stuff. Oh, let's see, husband stuff bowl. I showed you life stuff. My surgery. So I'm feeling much, much, much better than the last time. So if you didn't already know, in December, I had surgery for a double deviated septum and a bone spur. It half failed. So I had one side that almost completely closed off. So this was going in to fix that. I do have plugs in both sides. They were able to do everything from the inside, so they didn't have to cut this open again. So that's really nice. Last time I got really sick. I was in a lot of pain and I got really sick. I've done a lot better. So surgery was yesterday. I've been doing housework and everything else, dishes, laundry, all the stuff. And since I've been home, I have only taken ibuprofen. Last time I was having to take the pain pills. I've not had to take any this time. So that is good. It's very good. And they didn't have to they had a big bridge thingy on my nose last time and stuff. And yeah, it was so beautiful. I don't have all that. My nose is a little bit large because of the stuff that's up inside of it, but otherwise it's just those sniffles that have been getting me. Let's see. There was something else I was just going to say. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. So I hit 1,000 subscribers. My video that is going up today for me, but yesterday for you, is on, it is my 1,000 subscriber video. I make this in that video, and the yarn that I'm using was from the cat lady from when she hit 1,000 subscribers. So I was honoring her in my video from when she hit 1,000 and using that yarn when I hit 1,000. So that was my 1,000 subscribers, and I did it because of a giveaway. And so there is a giveaway, but you got to go watch that video. There's a giveaway in that video, and I will announce the winner in next week's podcast. So go back and watch that video. I will make sure it is linked at the end, and I will put it in the box below. And I think that's it. When I get done with this video, I'm going to be working on my video for next week. And I'm really kind of excited about that one too. And it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be fiber related, but a little bit more artsy. I'm getting back to some of my painting roots. So if you didn't know, I've done a lot of art. I was an art major in high school, or not high school, in college. I did a lot of art in high school, but I was an art major in college, drawing and painting and everything else. And since my neck went bad, I don't do as much because I can't sit like this. So if I do it, I do have to make sure it's up where I can work on it, and I just don't do it as much. Um, but I do kind of miss it from time to time. So, little hint, there will be some painting involved in next week's, but it is still fiber related. So you really should check it out. Um, Otherwise, I think that's all I have for you. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend and a great next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you all again soon. Bye.